guys, welcome back to Look Who's Talking Podcast, a podcast created for your voice to be heard while having hard conversations intended to spread love, encourage healing, and embrace vulnerability. I am your host, Onicia, and I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for subscribing. If you are a new subscriber here, I want to say welcome and thank you for your genuine support. Do me a favor, click that subscribe button right now if you are not a subscriber. We filmed on last week. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties with the sound, so we was not able to drop that episode. And I did have a guest that I wanted you guys to hear from. So we are going to reshoot that episode so you guys can get a chance to hear from this particular person. I love her so much. She is so sweet. And so on today, I actually do have me another guest, which is Dre, my cameraman. A lot of times for people who's into photography, videography, all those type of things, they are always behind the scenes. And so I wanted to just kind of bring him from behind the scenes on this particular episode so you guys can hear from him, so you guys can hear about Greater Works Gallery. I mean, he is definitely doing a great work in our community, a great work with my podcast, a great work with helping me bring my vision to life. So I just wanted to bring him from behind the camera to have a conversation with us on today. And I'm just so excited because I do believe that he got some wisdom that he can share with us on today. We are here in Louisiana. For you guys that don't know, we've had a hurricane on yesterday. Thank God that we made it out on top. It was not what they predicted it to be, and we thank God for that. Amen. Right. And so I see some people, y'all know I kind of be doing my little chatting with y'all before we get into it. But I found it so crazy because we had people on social media and they were coming off as if they were upset that the hurricane didn't hurricane how they were expecting it to hurricane. And I'm just like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, why are we even mad about that? We need to be thanking God that he kept us. He covered us. Like, we need to be thanking God that we are here today to be able to tell a testimony that the hurricane didn't hurricane how we was expecting it to. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let Dre, my friend, my homie, my brother from another mother, like, I'm going to go ahead and let him introduce himself to you guys, and we're going to get the conversation started. Go ahead, Dre.
Oh man, I'm so nervous.
Y'all, he killing me with this mic. He killing me with this mic.
Listen, man, I'm nervous. I ain't never been on this side of the camera before. This is crazy.
Don't be nervous.
That's why I don't even vlog, like, talking about it. Like, I got so many vlogs sitting on my computer that I haven't put out yet.
Don't be nervous. Yeah, I feel like he got it. He ready.
Man.
He holding his mic. He ready.
Oh, yeah. Like, I got no choice.
He is ready.
I got no choice. We here now.
Exactly. So I'm so excited to have you here. Just to kind of give people a little insight, a little background history on you and Greater Works. Like, how did that come about? Like, what sparked you to get into photography? Like, how did that happen for you?
Right. So I went to Louisiana Tech for graphic design, and I initially started in industrial engineering. You know, typical hood story. You the first person in your family to go to college, all that good stuff.
Yep.
So
breaking generational curses.
Facts. Mm-hmm. So I felt a lot of pressure. Being one of the first to go. And I was like, I got to do something extraordinary. I got to slam dunk it. So, after failing a bunch of math classes and everything, my advisor was like, what you like to do? And I told him I like to draw. Mm-hmm. So they seen some of my drawings and ended up walking me to the art building and was like, yeah, you need to be over here. Mm-hmm. So when I started taking the graphic design classes, I really enjoyed it. Because I knew that I wasn't gonna major in drawing, like that's mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy. So I saw all of the different types of art that were offered, like screen printing, video, photo. So I just took it all because my whole thing was you never know what you're gonna use.
Right.
So I took all of it, and then around that time my wife started vlogging. So I was like, okay, cool, and that was it. Just got into it off of. Just wanting to be, highly skilled. That's all.
Right. And hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with exploring the different many talents. And so the name of your actual photography business is Greater Works. And for
Right.
you guys that don't know, I used to out encountering Dre with his name or whatever. We would have like on scene, off the scene. We would have like kind of conversations in regards to basically life, things that's been going on, and this, and that. And I used to always tell him like, it's like, come on, bro, look at the name of your business, Greater Works. You gotta believe God for the greater. You gotta walk into that greater. You got to obtain it and say, God, I know that this is about to be great. And so for you, photography, this is something that you recently just walked into full time.
Right.
Because
Right.
before this, you were doing teaching, right? You were
Right.
in the education field. Hats off to anybody that's in that field, because I can only imagine that
I
it
enjoyed it
takes a
though,
lot.
man. Teaching was fun. I
Yeah,
enjoyed it. I really
yeah,
did.
but it takes a lot, okay? So
Yeah.
hats off to anybody who is in the education field. But like, how was that transition for you to be coming off something that you knew was a guarantee? It was a guaranteed income for you and your household to say, man, I'm about to just embark up on this journey, and I'm about to invest in me full time. Like, how was that for you in that process?
Right. Well, the first part of that is what you asked earlier about how Greater Works came about. So when I graduated from school in 2016, the first job that I did work out of school, like it was horrible. Like it was like the typical old men's club, and like if
Oh.
you didn't bow down and kiss the ring, like opportunity was kind of so. I developed like an exit plan. Like I knew I was gonna quit, but I was trying to quit with integrity, not
Right.
cussing everybody out and knocking stuff over. So I prayed on it, and I was um I was doing business, but it wasn't to the level of excellence that it could have been. I didn't have no LLC. I didn't have a business bank account, like none of that. I was just like getting paid and just moving
The
on.
hustle, right?
Facts. So the prayed. My wife prayed. We just like started taking steps, and we came up with the name Greater Works. Got our ducks in a row legally and everything, and so before I did put my 2 weeks notice in 2018, it was January 14th, 2018. Um, I was sitting at my desk and I was like, I'm never gonna be in a position again to where my happiness or my livelihood is in the hands of somebody else.
Exactly.
So yeah. So fast forward to that I left that job and I worked for myself for like that whole summer, and then I got hired at Southern to be the creative specialist for the Ag Center. So did that for a number of years, and then they didn't really want to, started talking about raises and all of that, and so I was like, well, time to
Getting
go.
to the money,
And
right?
so with teaching, I just left teaching this spring after the school year ended, and to be honest with you, at first I was just gonna look for another job. Like I was gonna try to like do something remote, like a remote graphic design job, or looking for something that was just whatever. I was just like, hey, it is what it is. But this building like legit just like kind of fell in our laps. Like wasn't really looking, wasn't you know really. I was just like, cause it's been a rough year. Like since November of 23, like it's just been rough. So I just kind of been living, but God just been sustaining and just still opening doors throughout. So as far as the aspect of giving up a guaranteed check for something that's like kind of uncertain, it's like I grew up broke, so I mean, like it ain't really phased me none. It's like, hey, if I ain't got it, I'm gonna go get it, or if I
Right.
ain't got it, I don't need it.
Right.
That's my mindset. When it come to money, like I don't never stress about money. So, um, yeah, I just focused on putting the work in and just keep working hard. Like no matter if it's 2 clients a week or 20 clients a week, it's like just focus on giving everybody the same experience, because
Right.
that's the most important thing. So
Yeah, and shout out to Wifey for just standing by you and sticking through that. That's always great to know that we have, or to hear people always talk about their companion, their significant other who kind of just stuck it out with them, ride the wave with them. And so now you are actually into your own studio, which is that's great, man. Shout out to you for that. Having your own studio. So how has that been for you? Just like being in your own studio now, like this is yours. You got the keys. You walking in and out. Because I know when me and you first kind of met and encountered, you were still kind of like in the transition of trying to find a studio. So you were more so of like a photographer that was like traveling to wherever your clients wanted to be. Like so now, how was that to just to just be in taking the fact that, man, I have my own studio now, so you can come to the studio, I can come to you. Like, how is that for you now?
It's an amazing experience to be able to just like wake up in the morning and just go somewhere, and it's like, hey, when I get here, the mission is still the same to
Exactly.
work. Because my thing is, I've never had a problem with working. Like, you know, like I told you, I've been doing it like since college. I've always like had a job and worked on the side. So the work never really bothered me. It was just being able to be peaceful in what I was doing. So now I'm finding that it's a lot easier of a schedule to manage.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Right.
I'm not working, like nearly as hard as I used to, and it's just cool, to just have somewhere where especially like people like you who've been like supporting for a long time, y'all able to just like come in and just like see the growth, and also have a place to create, so we don't have to always like figure out like, oh, where we gonna shoot this at, what if it
Right.
rained, what if
Right.
this, what if that, like, that's a blessing. And also too, I don't let myself kind of like get caught up in the hype of, how people do when they
Yeah.
own a business. They got the shirts and got CEO bigger than the business name on there. It's like still treating this like a job, like,
Right.
showing up in the morning with my lunchbox, unlocking the door, getting in here, turning everything on, and just, just
Working.
just
Right.
treating it like a job, because
Right.
I mean, I showed up for everybody else's job with a smile and put my best clothes on to go sit up there for 8 hours. So it's like the same thing with this. Like, I just, come in and get it, you
Right.
know.
Right, and it all just goes back to when it's your vision, you have to work your vision. You have to invest in what you want to invest in you. So if you don't invest in it, it won't invest in you. But if you invest
Right.
in it, it will invest in you. And I had to learn it in regards to just with my podcast. I had to learn it for myself because I was, when I first started this journey, of course, I had my questions and my doubts and things like that. But I've noticed a change since I've been consistent with it. Because when we first started this, I was only one episode a month, and then I used to be seeing to where people would tune in, but then it's like, okay, well, it's only one episode a month. So I was like, I actually had a talk with a friend from high school, and she kind of encouraged me. So she gave me the motivation and the push that I needed to kind of start pursuing this more. Because she was like, I'm gonna just be honest. She said I watch it, but then sometimes if you're only doing it once a month, that's like it's no consistency, right? So it's like people forget about it. So I was like, well, I'm gonna just try to go to 2 episodes a month. And then when I went to 2 episodes a month, I did
The
see the
streets was
traffic.
listening.
Yeah, it kind of started picking
They
picking
was
up.
looking for you.
They was kind of starting to expect it. And so now that I am literally dropping a new episode every week, every Monday at 12 noon, I'm seeing where the traffic, people is
Right,
starting to
right.
pay more attention. People is really starting to be invested in it. And so that was just the lesson learned for me. Anything that you invest in, it will invest in you. If God gave you the vision, you got to pick up the
Facts.
torch and you got to run with it regardless. If you don't feel like it, if you tired, if you frustrated, you really got to run with it regardless. Because I'm here today, y'all, and I'm really, really tired. But let me say how I'm tired. Because I call myself taking a
Yeah.
PM last night, and it is like literally still on me. So if I don't feel
From
like
PM
I'm,
to PM,
yeah, like, so if
huh?
I'm
Got your
not
money's worth
really
out of that one.
up for it, you guys, that's because that medicine is kind of still on me. But that's just showing like I could have simply text Dre and said, man, Dre, this PM is still on me, like, let's reschedule. But no, I said I still
And I
have
would
to
have been
show
absolutely
right.
fine with that because,
But
man, I'm tired.
but I'm just like, you gotta still show up. Like, you gotta show up even when you tired, even when you hurt, you angry, you frustrated, broke, busted, disgusted. If it's your vision, you still got to show up because your vision is counting on you to see it through. Okay, you guys, we are back. We just kind of had a little technical difficulty with our memory card. See how the devil be trying to, boy? He'll try to throw
I'm
anything
telling
your
you,
way
man.
just to
Hater.
distract you.
Big
It
hater.
always happens like that, but that's okay. He been trying it with these technical difficulties, but the devil is a lie because he will not make me get frustrated. That's how you know sometimes when God is in the midst or when it's destined by God, because the enemy will try every which way to knock you off your zone, to knock you off your feet. But it's okay. We're not gonna get wrapped up into that. And so just back into what we were talking about in regards to the whole transition with the incomes and stuff like that. So I can only imagine it took a lot of faith for you to walk into this. It took a lot of trust, a lot of, man, God, I believe you. I'm gonna put it into your hands. And a lot of times we as humans, we struggle with that, right? we always be saying, oh, God, I got faith. God, I trust you. But again, until it's really time to trust and have faith, then we kind of be on the fence about it. So how was that for you in regards to just like walking into this and just saying, God, I'm going to trust you wholeheartedly. I got faith that you're going to make this work for me, that you're going to see me through this. Like, how was that like for you guys?
So it wasn't rough on the financial end because being transparent, I had about 30 G's saved up.
Okay.
So it wasn't the money aspect, and I ain't gonna lie, I probably spent like half of that, like like
Getting
getting all of this
right.
together. But it was more so, my brother passed, and being sick, and then my me being sick, and then my granny being very sick. Like it's like stuff been like real rough. So it was more so just like, Lord, you got to give me something to do, because like
Right.
I'm about to like I'm about to lose it. So it was more so just trusting that everything was gonna come together along the lines of like, hey, you still have a purpose.
Right.
Like you still have work to complete here. Like don't just like lay down and just it
Right.
just yeah.
Right. So, and let's kind of talk about that in regards to you losing a brother. I know you kind of shared with me the loss of your brother and how that kind of like affected you and like played on you. So, what was that like for you in regards to losing your brother? Because I know a lot of times as it just as people in general, sometimes we take a great loss and it do sting and it hurt, but then it also kind of be like the motivation, the push, the drive behind why we're doing what we're doing, or why we're walking into our purpose, or how we're fulfilling our purpose. So like, how was that like for you in regards to losing your brother and things like that? Because this is a great accomplishment, and I'm sure that this is probably something, I know probably this is something that would have made him proud to see his brother has finally walked into like his own business, his own establishment. So like, how was that transition, how was that process for you, like in regards to losing your brother but still trying to pursue, still having to be there, show up for your family and things like that? So how was that for you?
Yeah, it was crazy because I kind of self-destructed along the way, and especially like the week that he died, like at his wake and at his funeral, like it was like, yeah, like it was wild. Like yeah, I wanted smoke with everybody, and it was, yeah, it was a crazy time, and it's been a wild summer too. Um, One thing that feel really weird is like being in a position where now it's like you the one that's responsible. Like he he was kind of like the one that was like, all right, y'all, we gonna do this, and then it's
This
like,
was the oldest brother, right?
yeah, he
Okay.
was the oldest boy, so it's like going from having somebody that's kind of like quarterbacking situations to now it's like you the one that gotta go cut granny's grass,
Right, you
or
gotta
if
fill
you,
in now.
yeah, like whenever mama need something done at the house, need an air filter changed out or whatever, it's like, so it's just crazy because it's like you go from like bathing in the same tub as somebody and sipping out the same cups to now like they not here, and it just still don't make sense. And then it's crazy because it's like it's coming up on a year, and it just feel like it happened like 2 months ago. So I just joke all the time, like even with like getting this place ready, like I just because when we started painting, like we got the keys in the same day we started painting, and so like I could have heard him just like roasting me, like, bruh, like this paint is literally melting off the wall because the AC not turned on in here yet. Like we don't even have utilities. Like why are you painting?
Wow,
Like
right.
so just like the little stuff, like the family group chat is dead, man. Like he was always the one with the
He
jokes,
was a jokester.
Yeah, so it's just like it's different, but we still try to like just press on.
Right. Cope. And yeah. And you even talked about you were just kind of on a path of like just self destruction. And a lot of times everybody handle grief different. We all process grief different. Some people kind of turn to anger. Some people turn into, blocking it out. Some people deal with it in ways to like, oh, this is not real. Like again, we just all kind of deal with grief, different. So even on your path and your road to kind of just like self destruction, how was that for you? Like, how did you find yourself getting back on track, like, man, okay, now Dre, you just doing anything, or now you just like a loose cannon. Like, what was that moment for you, like, to acknowledge that, to accept that, and then start to doing the work to like overcome that?
To be honest with you, it was the day of the grand opening on the 20th of last month. Just just seeing my granny, and seeing my mom, my aunties, seeing my wife, like just seeing like everybody, my sisters, like just seeing that everybody was here, and it was for no other reason than just to say, hey man, we love you and we appreciate you and we
Right.
proud of you.
Right.
Like my students, like even when they got out of school, like they pulled up. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So it was just it was like in that moment, just looking around the room, just like, all right, like don't fumble this, like don't be dumb. So it's it's still a work in progress, like just trying to find stuff to occupy my. I think the scariest thing is like for my family, I imagine, is like nobody has nobody has seen me grieve,
Mhm.
like no tears or
Mhm.
like nothing like that. So I think it's kind of like they wonder if I'm on edge or like what's gonna happen or when the other shoe drop. Like
Mhm.
what the reaction would truly be like once it's set in. So yeah, just
So,
trying to take it one day at a time, I
right.
guess.
So, do you feel like you've like properly processed? Like, do you feel like you have allowed yourself, or you giving yourself time to like grieve and properly process like the passing of your brother in regards to like, oh, like he's gone. This is real. Have you given yourself like that moment, or are you still kind of just trying to like figure that out in regards to?
I don't really know, honestly. Like I
Mhm.
mean, I it's like when it come up, like whenever I think about it, it's like like dang, like my boy gone,
Right.
and then it's just like you know, like ain't nothing I could do about it.
Right. Um, and okay, so when I say this, don't get triggered, because I know a lot of times people be kind of like uptight about this
Nah,
is
you good.
in particular.
That's what we here for, to
So
talk.
are you interested in like maybe going to therapy and things like that in regards to like the mental health aspect of it? Because I know a lot of times men specifically, they shy away from like therapy and things like that because they feel like, oh, okay, you can't tell me about me, or how you gonna try to fix my, the people out there all have their different perspectives in regards to that. So have you even like thought about that? Like, maybe I need to go to, therapy to kind of help me process this more. Like, are you interested or open to it?
I mean, I'm open to it. I just got to find the time. Like,
Mhm.
time is one, and two, it's like just kind of getting over the awkward, when you first sit down and it's like,
Yeah.
yo, just like kind of unpacking all of that, and
Mhm.
I'm scared of like what starting to kind of like move stuff around
Mhm.
is going to uncover.
Well, sometimes I always say, I start to look at life now like you can't just, in order to overcome things or in order to get over things, we can't just start by cutting off the branches. Sometimes we got to get to the root of the problem. And so for you, it may be a situation to where, okay, I need to start unpacking this, and that's why we're in therapy, to kind of help me unpack and sort out these feelings. It just sounds like to me you may be a little fearful in regards to what's going to become unpacked. Hey, I mean, I get it, baby
Yeah,
steps. I
yeah.
totally understand, but I do feel like sometimes we got to get to the root of the problem, because eventually a branch it'll grow back or it'll come back. You get what I'm saying?
Nah,
So
that's real.
yeah,
That's real.
sometimes you got to get to the root of a problem and see where did this begin or where did this started. And I'm sure if your brother, if he's watching over you, if he was here, he would want you to probably take like, man, yeah, Dre, go ahead and get the help.
Oh,
The
he probably laughing
yeah,
at the way
like,
he probably laughing like,
yeah,
man, y'all
to
doing the
kind of get
most.
that,
Yeah,
professional help. I mean, because I can't imagine. I still have all my siblings here,
yeah,
but just according to the relationship and how tight and how we love each other, I can't imagine doing life without them. And so we do have one of our brothers. He always kind of say, you guys, what is life? Eventually, we do all gotta go sometime. But those are
yeah.
kind of like conversations we avoid, because we be like, oh, we
Like,
don't want to.
man,
Yeah,
shut up. I'm
like,
not trying to hear
we
all
not
that.
about to talk about, like, we would cross that
Yeah,
road when we get there. And I used to always, like, growing up, I used to say, I used to look at them, I'd be like, man, because I can't live without them. I used to be like,
Yeah,
when it
it's
comes to
crazy.
that time, I'm okay with going first because I don't want to experience life without them. But now I'm like, hold up, Lord, let your
Yeah,
will be
right, right.
done, whatever is in your will. But it's really really tough.
I
You like
remember
I said,
me and him was arguing one time through text,
uh
and he was
huh.
like, he was like, that's why. That man said, if you die first, I'm a Millie Rock on your grave.
Yeah,
That
see,
man said he was gonna Millie Rock on my grave if I died first.
yeah, so it really just be like, cherishing. You gotta just cherish people, cherish those moments while they there. You gotta love people while they here. You gotta give
Yeah,
them their flowers while they here. A lot of times I walk past my sisters, I be grabbing their hand, kissing them and stuff, and they always be like, "Girl, move, what you doing?" I be like, "Hey, when I'm gone, you not gonna get this from me, so
right,
you
right.
gotta appreciate it while I'm here." But I'm definitely praying for you through this time. I pray that God would give you
Appreciate you.
clarity, God would give you comfort, God will give you the strength that you need to move forward to get past this. You get what I'm saying? I think I seen somebody on Facebook. They was like, when it comes to grief, it's just pretty much it's like an emotion that doesn't go away, but it's okay. We get through it. I totally, I know life be life, but I'm also like, hey, God be God. And I've always told people, when you understand that God will never put more on you than you can bear, you learn to wait different, your patience be different, you struggle with things differently, because I know, because for a fact God will never put more on me than I can bear. So he knows when it's a little too much for me. He get what I'm saying, he'll lift the weight. And then a lot of times we walk around and we try to carry stuff and we try to deal with stuff on our own. And a lot of times we walk around with the cares of the world, and God has never designed it. He has never set it up for us to walk around with the cares of the world. So a lot of times when we're
Right,
going through things, we don't want to trust God with the hurt. You get what I'm saying? We don't want to give him the hurt, but that's why he's here. He's come, cast all your cares on me. We be trying to walk around and tote the burden, and the burden was never meant for us to carry. And
right,
so even with life, I'm just like, now I'm learning to cast my cares on him. Things that I cannot control, I cannot handle. God, I give it to you, and I'll give it to you easily, because those things, they play on us and they affect us in a lot of different ways. And death is hard. It's a lot. Because we lost our grandmother, and she was like the piece to the whole entire
kept
puzzle
everything together.
for the family. And I always
Yeah,
feel like a lot of times people always kind of mention, like, my grandmother this, my grandmother that, and I always
yeah,
just be kind of like reflecting and think about, well, man, if my grandmother was here, she would do this or she would do
right,
that. Because even when it comes to like family gatherings and all of that, it was always my momo who kind of kept the family together. And it's kind of
right.
like, now that she's gone, you
Like that
kind of see,
magic ain't. Yeah,
yeah, like it's like the piece to the missing puzzle is no longer here. And so again, we all deal with it, differently. Everybody handle grief different, and that's okay. Like, you
right,
are
right,
allowed to feel how you feel. You are allowed it to cry, run, scream, like whatever it is that you need to do to release it. You are allowed to do that. That's okay. And I just want you to know that, man, it's okay. Times is tough, but hey, you're going to get through it. And like I said, I know if your
oh
brother
yeah,
was here, he looking down, he's probably definitely proud of you. And he was probably saying what you said, this paint going to be melting out these walls because ain't no air on. But Trey, why would you paint with no air on?
hey, I was just trying to get stuff done at that point. I was like, look, it was just a thing of just like keeping busy. I
Right.
just wanted to keep moving. Like that's my thing, because I never stopped working like
Right.
throughout the whole, you know,
You kind of
just
just
just kept
kind
pushing.
of keep going.
Right.
Yeah.
But just in life, like in whether you got a relationship, a business, anything, like you gotta keep pushing,
Yeah, you do.
because the thing about greatness, or about just like success in general, like it don't care if you black, it don't care if you white, male, female, it cares about who respect the process and who put the work in, who gonna show up and put the passion out, put the growth out, put the talent out, put X, Y, and Z out, and that's when you see results. So yeah, greatness ain't reserved.
Yeah,
It's
that's
it's
true.
it's it's for somebody to grab.
Right. Yeah, that's true. But I've always said that when going into like business, if that is what God has for me, like in regards to entrepreneurship and things like that, I'm going to invest in it, but I'm not going to let it kill me, if it
Oh,
makes sense. You
definitely.
get what
Nah,
I'm
nah. I
saying?
see what
Like,
you're saying.
I'm
Like
going to
being
also,
obsessive. Yeah,
yeah, like I'm going to
yeah.
always pour into me, because if I'm
Right.
not here, then who's going to tote my vision? Or if
Nah,
I'm
it's
not
funny.
here,
It's funny that you say that, because like if you notice now, like so when Kobe died, he became the measuring stick for how how hard you work. Like,
Yep.
oh well, if you don't do it like Kobe, then you
Kobe,
ain't doing it
right.
at all. And it's like, well, Kobe did all that obsession in the gym, missing out on this, missing out on that, and it's like he literally retired and only lived for a couple of years, and like now the only thing he got to show for it is people
His memory.
saying his name. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like you have to have a balance. You know, like it's okay to not be the person that's looked at as like, oh man, yeah, he always on the grind. He always doing this, that, and other. Because I mean, grind gonna kill you. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And sometimes you gotta say, okay, I need to take a day off for me. Like I gotta
right,
take a
right.
day for me, myself, for myself. So that's
Oh,
why I'm like,
today and
even with
yesterday has been heaven,
yeah, that's why
man.
I'm
When I
like for
tell
a
you,
lot of business owners and stuff like that. I get you want to invest in it. Yes, by all means, go after your hustle, pursue it, and do what it is that you need to do. But don't kill yourself in the
right,
process. Like you gotta take care of you, because if you don't take care of you, who is going to take care of you? You get what I'm saying? Like if you don't
facts.
take care of you, ain't nobody gonna be here to touch your vision, or
Oh
your
yeah,
vision gonna die with you. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I want people. I love people who got the hustle mindset, the grind. I gotta get it, but don't let it kill you. Like still
right.
remember, I am a human being. Like
You
sometimes,
work, you
yeah,
work,
like
work, work, and then
right.
next thing you know,
Sometimes it's
you
okay to turn
die.
off.
They'll put
Right.
this thing for at least the same month.
Exactly, and that's
Like
just like even
yeah,
with working,
yeah.
all of that, them jobs. But put that PTO in.
I'm
Take that
telling you,
time out, because if
they gave me
you
10
die,
days. I'm taking all 10 of them.
exactly, if you die
All
today
ten
or
of them.
tomorrow, I guaranteed you next week they gonna have
Facts.
your position up on Indeed and all of that.
And
Need
then
to
they gonna
fill
have
it.
the gall to pay them more.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like,
They gonna pay them more
who?
than what they was paying you.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Crazy.
Colleen. Put that PTO in. Take the time that you need for yourself. And I've learned that because the job that I'm at now, I had like 100 some hours in PTO, and so I
Oh,
never
ain't
yeah,
no way.
but like
Ain't
I
no
never,
way.
not the cameraman
Ain't
keep
no
looking at me
way.
like, girl, what? But let me
A
tell you how
hundred,
though.
like one
Yes,
double zero.
it was so that they had to like buy me out, and then I
That's
had to like
crazy.
run the other PTO, and that's when I told myself, no, that's it. Whenever I need to be off, I'm taking off. And
God knew
even
not
my
to give me 100
exact,
PTO
but
days.
even my supervisor, she was like, girl, at this point, I'm gonna need you to start taking off. Like I'm gonna need
Yeah.
you to start putting in PTO, even if you just sitting at home doing nothing. Like put that PTO in, do what's best for you.
Facts.
So let me say, but
I
now I
thought
be
I worked
running
too
it
much.
up. No. I'm
Once,
telling you, and I had to like learn that, man. Who yeah, take the time that you need for
hey, they gave them
yourself.
to you.
Yeah, but you
Hey, just
gotta
like yesterday for this hurricane, I told my boss, I was like, "Hey, bro, we off.
like
Like that's a wrap."
who? Yeah, that's why I just be like, you. Sometimes you gotta put you first. I'm saying, but when she told me them hours, I said, oh, that's it.
A hundred is crazy.
Man,
Like
I'm like,
that, that is wild.
I've been coming
That
to
is
this
wild.
job too much.
That
Ain't
is
no
wild.
who.
Yeah, you live there.
Yeah, literally. And then the thing about my job is that you literally, the position that I'm in, you never turn off. Like you
Yeah,
even
on
though
call.
we were off for the hurricane, I still had the job phone. We were still like we was still
It's
literally
still
working.
going.
So it's like
Yeah,
you never turn off. Like you literally have to put in PTO to be out from that job.
that's
And then
wild.
even
So
if
they don't
you
even consider you, like consider calling you.
no. And
Yeah.
even so, even if you do put on PTO, it's just kind of like depending on what the situation is or what is it they're needing at the time. You still guaranteed to be in work mode,
Sheesh.
like literally.
Mm,
Yeah. So, oh yeah, better take that time. All the time y'all need to take it. Don't be out here letting these jobs
I'm
and all of
telling
this
you.
stuff kill you. You got to real life invest in you and take care of you, because if you don't take care of you, who gonna take care of you? Nobody. So how long have you been in photography, like years wise?
About 10.
10 years.
Yeah, about 10. I started while I was in school. I ain't have a clue what I was doing.
Just
just
getting
just
feet
shooting.
wet. Mm-hmm.
Just shooting. But the crazy thing is it's like whenever you look back at anything, right? Whenever you build it up, it's so much stress and anxiety with it, but then when you look at pictures of yourself when you didn't know what you was doing, you look so happy, and that piece you was just happy for the process.
Right.
You was just happy to be out there just saying like, "Oh man, I'm getting this done." And then when the money come or the all of the mundane stuff with it, it just bring a whole bunch of problems. So
Do you remember your first photo shoot? Like the
yes,
very first one you did?
yes.
What was it?
Oh, it was a train wreck. I don't even want
Not
to
a
talk about.
train wreck.
Man, them pictures were so blue and
Blue. Well,
yeah, the white balance
I
was
would
off.
say I wouldn't even know the difference.
Yeah, nah, you would trust me. You would know.
So that
You
was
would
your
know.
first, your very,
First
very
photo
first
shoot
one.
was it was trash. My first wedding was horrible too. I look back at them pictures and I'm like, man, I never want nobody to see them.
But it's crazy because the people you probably did it for, they probably feel like, oh, this was the
Yeah,
best
at the
picture.
time,
Yeah,
yeah.
like you say that, but
And I
it's
did that
probably at
wedding,
that
and
time.
I did that wedding for $600. Man, I won't go back and fight myself doing the whole wedding for $600. That's
But
crazy.
hey, you was just getting your feet wet, kind of new getting
Yeah,
into it.
I'm gonna keep them doused now because I would never,
I mean, I can only imagine a
never.
wedding for 600.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm
that's
how you for
criminal.
my wedding.
I
Give me
got
that
you.
price. For that price, though,
But look, you gonna marry a rich man though, so
you
you
know
look,
what? That's
yeah,
right. That's
yeah.
right.
So
So
he gonna drop them stacks.
you
We
know,
gonna
I'm
be
gonna
in good
make sure
shape.
you taken care of,
We
big
gonna be in
dog. But
good
I can
shape.
only imagine something. What I know they told you, yeah, like 1, 2, 3, 4, a wedding. So did you get like the wedding, them preparing for the wedding, like the makeup? You got all of that
All of that
for $600?
for $600, and then on top of that, there were 36 groomsmen
Oh, they had a big
and
bridal party.
38 bridesmaids. Yeah, it was wild.
Dang. Oh yeah, ain't no
Yeah,
way.
it
And
was.
so you did like the ceremony, the reception, all of it
Yep,
for $600.
600 of them things,
Oh,
and that was pre-inflation. So,
oh yeah. So people weren't really struggling like that then. Like
right, right.
the income. So
Yeah,
for your first like just individual photo shoot, what was your price for that? Just for like,
I think I was doing those for like 100.
and was it still like the however many photos, however many headed?
Yep,
Dre,
foolery,
ain't no
complete
way.
foolery. Yep.
And was you still doing it like the however many outfits and
No, I think it was just two outfits then.
just two outfits
Yeah,
in,
it
and
was.
then
I think it was one or two.
cause you know now you paying like $500 for photo shoots and you getting like 5 pictures.
Sheesh.
Yeah,
That's
like,
bastard work
but
right
hey,
there.
but they pay it though. Like
That's
people really do pay it. But yeah, you be at almost like $500 for a photo
that's
shoot.
crazy.
Literally.
500
Hey, they make their
is
money though.
yeah. Hey, more power to them.
Yeah, but
I just believe in offering people some value, to come along with that.
most definitely.
Because $500 for five final edits, that's yeah.
Photo shoots are expensive. I can only imagine what it
That's
is now for a
crazy.
wedding. I can only
Oh yeah,
imagine.
weddings are yeah.
And so, do y'all do them like by the hour, or it's just like a this is this
Some
package, this is this
yeah.
package?
I have three packages.
Okay.
I ain't got time to sit and dice it up by hour. It's like, look, I'm gonna spend the day with you. I ain't doing nothing else anyway. Like
Right.
if I have a wedding, like I'm not gonna take somebody else in the morning and then come
Yeah.
see you at like I don't want that anxiety. Like I want to spend my whole day focusing on getting you as much footage and the best that I can
Right.
get you. So I love weddings though. Weddings are out of everything. I would say weddings are my favorite thing to shoot.
Why? Well,
It's just
I can see that.
it's just something about like seeing two people, just like so happy and anticipating seeing each other, and then it's like when they finally get to it's like you see all the behind the scenes magic, and then it's like whenever you see all the guests come in, it's like they don't know what all went on behind the scenes, but it's like you
Right.
seen the whole story come together, so it's
Gotcha.
just it's just some nice work.
Well, I'm gonna tell you for my wedding dream, I'm gonna need you probably for like I'm gonna need you for the wedding,
Say less.
the day before the wedding.
Whoa,
and then,
whoa! The day before. Wait a minute, you trying to hold me
Friend,
hostage?
let me explain it because I won't like. Let me tell you, I got it planned out. Okay, I
Obviously.
won't like the day before the wedding. I want the
Alright.
wedding.
You think I
and
work for myself
I'm
now,
trying
huh?
to-
Like
I'm telling you, not so you can prepare. And then when we go on the honeymoon,
Yeah.
me and my husband gonna fly you and wifey out to wherever we at for the honeymoon because
Okay.
then I want you for the look. Y'all I got it all.
Oh, you trying to take pictures in one of them see-through boats,
I'm
ain't
trying,
you? You
literally, I want the troll. Like I literally want
Hey,
all of
say
the
less.
moments.
Say
Cap,
less.
don't we got time? We gonna pay y'all real
Say
good. I'm gonna
less.
tell you, come on, bring wifey with you.
Oh
I got
yeah,
it all
we doing
planned out.
we doing
Tell you,
videos and everything. Then
I
y'all
got
gonna
it
have a whole
all
y'all gonna have footage to post for weeks.
exactly.
Hey, I'm with it. Say less.
Exactly. Not the
Say less.
The friend grabbed his chest like, man, something wrong with this girl. Something the day
She said the day before, like she about to hold us
Literally.
hostage.
People don't
It's
do
good
the
though.
day before their wedding.
I can't tell you. Look, in my whole wedding career, I have not been to one rehearsal dinner.
Literally.
Nope. I don't care how stuff's set up. When I get there, I know what I'm gonna do. So it don't
See,
matter.
I I feel like I would want to catch all of it, like the rehearsal dinner. Like I feel like I would want to catch all of that on
I
camera.
do such a good job on wedding day, and you can ask any of my wedding clients. I go above and beyond to where the day before don't even matter.
I know I get that,
Nah,
but
nah,
I'm saying I
your
feel like
case is
I still
different
would
though.
just
Yeah,
want it to just like
yeah,
have the
you big O,
memory.
like you gotta get.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah,
I would still just want it to like have the memory of, oh, this was like my rehearsal
yeah.
dinner,
Because you got
and
your
then
friends coming in, everybody like arriving in the town. Like,
exactly.
yeah, I
So
get
do they
that.
have you at the engagement party?
It
Or
depends.
okay.
It depends on what package they book, but I haven't done too many engagement parties in 10 years of doing weddings. I think I've done probably like five
See,
or six.
I feel like I would want that. I would want my video, my photographer at
Now proposals,
the engage that too. Like,
I've done a many proposals, and the proposals are always funny because as soon as they see me, they already know
they
what
be
time it
knowing,
is.
yeah. But
Yeah,
I
they
just
already know
feel
what time it
like
is.
I would want the proposal, the engagement party, the rehearsal. I'm telling you, I would
Yeah.
want everything. I never
Hey,
been do that.
we gonna have to work that out when you get that rich man
There you go.
with
That's right,
yeah
Dre.
you
Speaking the rich man.
me and him gonna talk about it.
Exactly.
We gonna make it do what it
Yeah, I might
does.
have to build my own package.
What you mean?
Cause you know how you say I got packages.
Oh, I thought you were
I'm
talking about
going.
the man. I
I
was like, nah,
know.
that don't work like that.
I'm
You
gonna have to
can't
customize
you
my
can't build
own.
him.
I'm gonna have to customize my own package for the
Oh, say
wedding.
less. We do that
Like
too.
literally.
Yeah, that's light work. Yeah, we gonna make that happen.
I can't believe you did $600 though, Dre. Not
Yeah, that was back in like 2018. That was like my literal first wedding. Like
your first
I
one.
ain't yeah. Beforehand I was like, man, I'm just doing these sessions, and then when we got that call, it was like, what would I charge for a wedding? And 600
Yeah, I ain't getting no
just
six
jumped at
hundred
me.
dollars no more though. So don't try
Oh
to book
no.
my boy thinking you finna give him $600
Oh,
for a
you
wedding.
ain't got to tell him.
Don't
You
feel
ain't
like
got
cause
to tell him.
y'all not gonna play on my boy top
Oh
like
nah,
that.
or the
That's what
bottom
he's
either,
exact.
cause nah,
That's what he started it. Started it.
nah.
But no, like you have really, really just like from social media and all of that because when I at the time and before I got into the podcast or when I started, I was actually doing it with my sister-in-law's sister.
Hmm.
Shout out to Brittany. She helped me get it started. But Britt was into like photography and all that. And then
Right.
eventually she ended up leaving to go to the Navy. And so I had to find somebody else. And my high school friend, Terrell, shout out to Terrell, she sent me your
Yeah,
information. And
that's
she,
Stefan's wife. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yep, Terrell and Stephen. She sent me your information and she was like, hey, reach out to him to see. And the first time I reached out to you, you wasn't available. But then the second time when I reached out to you, you was available. But like literally when I went on your social media, I was like, oh, he really, really does great work. And then my cousin was
No pun
familiar.
intended.
Yeah, but
You
like
know,
my cousin was familiar with your work as well. So it
who
was
your
like
cousin?
Ashley Gaston.
Oh yeah, I taught her son
Yeah.
Montreal. Yeah.
Yep. Baby,
I've done
well,
several things
we
for
call him Baby
Baby
Trail,
Trail.
but child, he grown now. He don't really like us
Yeah, my
calling him
boy at
Baby Trail.
Morehouse now. Yeah,
Literally, he's at
doing
Morehouse.
big
Shout out
things,
to
man.
him. That is so great. But yep, he's at Morehouse now, doing great things. That's really really great, especially for our family and our family history. Shout out to Baby Trail for that. But yeah, so
Yes,
like they
indeed.
were familiar with
Right.
your work and stuff. And so when I seen it, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta get them. And like I said, I definitely say it was destined because it was like the process. It was easy. Like
Yeah,
even
definitely.
from the financial standpoint and all of that, like it has not been a struggle or none of that for me. So it's
Cause
really
God's
really.
good.
Literally, so that's when you know God has connected you to the right people because everything will flow, like everything will make sense, everything will come easy. Like you're not gonna be around here stressed. Because my biggest thing was that when I went into this, when I first did like the one episode a month, of course I was looking at it from like the financial standpoint of it
Right.
because this ain't free and like y'all can't
Yeah.
expect nobody to do this for free for me. And so even like when I was getting prices, yeah, I can. Somebody told me like I'm a $3,000 per episode, and I was like, "Do I look rich?"
But $3,000 US.
Yes. Like I'm like, "Do I look rich?" I'm glad you think I got it like that,
How
but
many
I
camera
don't.
angles they was giving?
Um,
Yeah, dog.
I think they said it was like maybe
Three
three
stacks.
cameras.
Jeez.
They had like their own studio. It was like three cameras. Yeah, it
That's
was like
crazy.
literally. So like everybody
Three
who I
stacks
was
an episode is wild.
everybody I was hitting up, I had somebody tell me like 1,500 an episode. I had somebody tell me like 600. I'm like, dang, that's more than my car note. Y'all
I'm
tripping.
telling you.
Literally. So Even like going
Nah, they
into the
saw a lick. That's what that was. They was yeah.
not for me,
That,
baby. Look, I think
yeah, well, they must have thought, huh?
like I'm glad y'all think I got money. Thank God for that. But
Yeah.
I ain't got it like
That rich
that.
husband got it, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't got it like that. Y'all tripping.
Hey,
But
if he
yeah,
got it, you
so
got it. That's how that works.
literally like going into stuff like this, like you literally have to put like the money and the time
Definitely.
behind it. And so even that was just like one of my biggest concerns was like finding somebody who was at like a reasonable price, but then was gonna still give me the quality
That you
for
was looking
what
for.
I
Yeah.
was paying and what I was looking for, because I'm the type like your price is your price. Like I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not gonna like try to negotiate or
But
debate
you
with
ain't gotta
nobody
pay it, you know,
about their
like straight,
price, right?
yeah.
Like I respect your price, I respect it for you, but
Yeah.
it ain't in my
Hey,
budget. I don't
straight
have
like
it,
that.
so let
Straight
me
like
just
that.
move a little further. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But the prices was outrageous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm telling you, it was
For
like
a podcast too, that's wild.
and then at that time too, I was still just like one episode per month. I hadn't even got into like
To
the
doing
whole
more,
doing an
yeah,
episode every week, and that was
that's
just my
crazy.
biggest concern of like with an episode every week, people charging me that much money like for every week. Hey,
12 stacks a month for a podcast is atrocious.
it's
That's
not true.
criminal.
I'm like,
That's
hey,
criminal. You getting robbed at that point. Like,
I'm telling you, they was
yeah,
calling me. I'm like, oh no,
that's
that's higher
crazy.
than my car. No, y'all tripping.
Yeah,
If it's just
three
me
three
and
racks a month is
literally it's
yeah,
just me and
that's
my pockets. Ain't
per
nobody helping me
episode.
pay these bills. I can't. So yeah, shout out when you could find. So if you're finding somebody who does this work in this industry and they are affordable and they're still giving you like the quality of your work is like value there, man. Stick with it. Stick with it. I always tell people I am locked in with my photographer. Drake does my pictures, my videos, everything. When I tell y'all I'm locked in, I am locked in because literally it's just like it's a standard I be looking for. Like it's, you gotta have that. If I want to work with you, like you gotta really the integrity, the professionalism, all of that has to be there, and
Right.
literally it be there.
And so I think it's important to add too, like we've had hiccups. We've had missed deadlines or
Yeah, we
lost
did.
footage or footage that's been like corrupted and stuff
Right.
like that. But I think me always being transparent and upfront, like, yo, I messed this up. This is what happened, and just being honest about it. I think that's what keep a business relationship going. You know,
Exactly. You
being
do
able to just own up to it.
communication,
Yeah.
right? Literally. And so even when I was going to like the every week, I had told Dre, I was like, well, when we film it, because I know I'm going to drop them on Mondays, like I want to do a day to where I give you like enough time to edit, to crop, to do all of this. And so he was like, nah, whatever day you give me, like we gonna make it work. We gonna make it work. Like even with the episode that I was not able to drop because of the sound. We filmed that on a Friday, and he literally had that ready for that Sunday to air that Monday. But of course, we ran into the hiccup with the sound because we wasn't able to drop it. But I was really worried because I was like, well, no, Dre, I don't really want to put that on you, because if we filming on a Friday, that means you literally only had like one day, literally to edit and all of that. And so that was just like my biggest concern of like not
Listen,
trying to put that
listen.
stress on them.
If you in business and you trying to get your money, you gonna do what's necessary.
Yeah, true.
Now that's not saying all the time accept stuff
Right.
that's on that strenuous
Just
of a
knowing what you
deadline.
can
But it's
handle
like
and what you can't.
but it's like, hey, if it ain't hurting nothing, go for it.
Go for it.
Go ahead and
right.
get it out the way.
Literally.
You know? Yeah.
And so I was really worried. I was like, man, I won't put that on my dog to make him feel like he gotta have
Hey,
the
it was done.
episode ready.
It was done.
But literally
That first 12 minutes is what killed us, though.
yeah,
that,
it
that
did.
first 12 minutes.
But
man.
I'm gonna bring her back, y'all, because that was
Yeah,
really,
that was
really
too
a
dope of an
great
episode.
episode. But I say when people ask me about my work, I tell everybody, look, Greater Works Gallery, y'all go to his social media, hit him up for all of your photo shoots, videos, whatever you need, marketing,
Appreciate
branding.
you.
He does all of that.
Appreciate
Like
you.
literally, hit my boy up when y'all be seeing all of this. This ain't me. This is literally Dre. Dre be behind the camera. Like even with my pictures or whatever, it's all Dre, and so I'm making 30. I ain't telling y'all what I'm doing for my
Hey, your
photos
photo shoot gonna
because
go dumb, though.
I don't
Hey,
want nobody to steal my idea.
We
But
going up for the
just
30th.
know that when those photos drop, that's who
Yeah.
gonna be behind the work, okay? Like literally all of my branding, all of my content from my podcast, from professional photos, all of that, that is literally Greater Works Gallery. So do me a favor, y'all. Go over to his social media right now. Hit him up. Book your photo shoot. Even if you want to get into podcasting, hit him up. her. But let me tell you something. You ain't gonna come before me though. Tell him. Hey,
That's wild.
I'm top
That's
priority
crazy.
with podcasting.
That's crazy.
But I mean, if you got a podcast and you want to
Yeah,
start it,
so
I ain't gonna get in
said if
between
she
my.
shooting on Sundays, y'all can't have
Literally,
Sundays.
but I
She
ain't
said
gonna
y'all
get
gotta
into,
have
I
another
ain't gonna
day.
get between my I ain't gonna get between my dog bread and butter. That's how he make his money. So let me
Hey,
tell
but
y'all.
listen, from 8 in the morning, Monday through Friday to 3:30 p.m., hey, we in here. And if you got to schedule after hours because you get off from work and all of that good stuff, that's fine too. I
Hit
got
'em
the
up.
keys, man. I come unlock it. We can get to work.
Period. Hit him up. But
That's
I
what
was
it
just
is.
so excited to have this conversation. I'm just so excited to bring Dre from behind the camera just so you guys could kind of see and get a feel of the man with the plan, the man that helps me behind my vision, the man that helps me come up with all of these ideas. I'm
Yes,
just so
Lord.
excited for this conversation, for you guys to see him. And I just want to say thank y'all for tuning in. And even with this conversation, if you are walking into a business, if you are contemplating going into your own business, even if you contemplating leaving a full-time job with a guaranteed income to go and pursue and to invest in your vision, do it.
Yes.
Invest in it. Work it. Just have that faith, trust, and believe God that He's gonna see you through it. I definitely feel like if God give you a vision, if He gave you a dream, He is gonna make sure that you getting through it. Not saying it's gonna all be easy because we have our hiccups.
Right.
We run into things, but you gotta know you're gonna get through it. So if you are struggling with that, go for it. Follow your heart. Invest in your dream. Do what works for you. Make sure you guys like, comment, tune in, and don't forget to click the subscribe button. And I also want to say shout out to my 109 subscribers. I'm so
Hey,
proud of me,
109.
guys.
Yeah, yes,
look,
Lord. Let's do it.
a win is a win.
109.
A win is a win in my book. And so
Hey,
yes,
look, they talk about keeping it 100. You keeping it 109. We in here.
Literally, I am now. I
We
now
in here.
have 109 subscribers on YouTube. So y'all, that is big for YouTube.
Big
for
facts.
me, people be working hard. So
That means
thank,
people went and searched you. And
literally.
found, yeah,
So thank you
they clicked
guys
that button.
so much for
Y'all click the button,
keep
man.
clicking that button.
Yeah,
Share
subscribe to
it.
my dog, man.
Send them to Look Who's Talking Podcast because remember
Big
it
facts.
takes two people to have a conversation. So
Yeah.
when we
And
like
y'all being nosy.
I'm talking
Y'all
to
might as
y'all.
well-
Y'all talking to me. Like we
I'm
making
telling
it do
you.
what it do. So I am so excited for that milestone.
Now,
Yes, y'all.
I got a request though.
What's up?
You gonna have to bring me back because like
I got you,
one
man.
thing I want to make sure that we do is give people some be able to like dive in a little deeper and give them some tangible steps towards like how
Most
they create that
definitely.
escape plan. How do
Most
they start
definitely.
moving money from here to there
They
to be
need
able
it.
to achieve their dreams.
Most definitely.
And
I
also
got
praying
you.
over your stuff too.
Literally.
Because everybody
literally.
want to hear the story about how you made it over, but they want you to leave Jesus out. You
But
know?
you can't leave him out.
Yeah. They don't want the sacrifice and the obedience
He
part.
is always
they
the
just want the
missing piece of
success.
the puzzle. Literally,
Yeah.
he is always the missing piece of the puzzle.
Right.
But Trey trying to make me preach. Not tonight though, y'all.
Yeah.
Not tonight, y'all. He know if he bring up the Lord, but if I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna go in
Oh,
when we
yeah.
talking about my God. Like he know that for a fact. But literally, we can't do nothing without him. Literally, in his word, he's saying all things give him glory. We serve a jealous God, so meaning no putting no man before him. You got to trust him with everything, not just the little. You got to trust him with the little, the much, all of it. You got to really trust him with it. So for people, again, if you are struggling in that area, I want you to pray, seek God, ask God what it is that you want for me, and whatever it is, I'm gonna pursue it, and I'm gonna
Gotta
go.
sprint after it.
Literally, I'm gonna pursue it, and I'm gonna go after it. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this conversation. Do not forget, make sure you tune in, watch this episode, watch all of the previous episodes. They are all on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at LWT Podcast. We got TikTok, Facebook. We literally everywhere you need us to be. That's what we are at. So I just want to say thank you guys again so much for the support. I genuinely do appreciate it. I cannot make this happen without you guys. When I see my subscribers, that gives me the push, the motivation to keep going. When I see my little 400 something, 300, I think, no, I'm at 400 something. When I see my little 400 something Instagram followers, that gives me the push to keep going. So I just want to say thank
Foes
you.
up.
Thank you
Yeah,
guys
400.
so much for just
Yeah.
following and supporting and sticking this out with me. And make sure you are always spreading love, encouraging, healing, and embracing vulnerability. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this conversation. And we will see you guys next Monday at 12 noon for a brand new conversation, brand new guest. It may just be
Yes.
me. Who knows? We're going to see.
I'm gonna be behind the camera though.
Literally, we're going to see what it do
I'ma
when
be
it
back
comes.
where I
But
belong.
see you guys soon.